All right, guys, what is going on? We are a quarter way into the season here, so another episode of the Sports Brotherhood coming at you. Got Brandon Styles and Timmy joining us today. So what's going on, guys?
You know. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Something like that.
Dog
Something
came
like
out a little bit.
So yeah, we are officially quarter way into the NFL season. The time flies, man. It seems like just yesterday it was preseason. We're already, 4 weeks into the season. So gonna touch on that a little bit. Obviously gonna touch on some Iowa Hawkeyes football and wrap it up a little bit of MLB playoff talk. So get the ball rolling a little bit. Just kind of, our impressions on the first 4 weeks, maybe some teams that are doing pretty hot, some teams conversely that are struggling a little bit, and just immediate impressions that you guys got. So, Brendan, if you want to lead us off, what do you got?
Well, I guess I'll start off by saying that as a Chicago Bears fan, it was nice to see them finally win a game yesterday against.
Yes, sir.
Woo! The three things, if I had to pick three things that have immediately jumped out at me with this season, actually, I'll go with four because I got to include one that's a bit of a surprise. But you got the Minnesota Vikings, and I know they're playing right now against the Giants, but just the start that they've gotten off to, you knew that their defense is going to be good. You didn't know it was going to be like it has been this year. And the fact that, the wins that they've gotten included beating Green Bay and basically shutting down Aaron Rodgers. And then the following going into Carolina and shutting down Cam Newton.
Yes,
I've been very impressed with what I've seen from them, particularly on that side of the ball. And especially you consider they brought in Sam Bradford a week before the season even began. And he's basically taking over the reins like it's nothing.
Insane. That is it. It's insane. Right.
And then just real quickly, the other thing, Carolina, I mentioned them. The fact that they're 1-3, it's not so much that the losses are surprising, but it's how they're leaving these games. And, against Minnesota, they couldn't do anything on offense. Then that's the defense torch by Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. And on top of that, you're dealing with the possible concussions that Cam Newton's been dealing with and the blows he took to the head in the opener against Denver. It's kind of a surprise to see them falter like they have, especially coming off of 15-1 here. And then real quickly, just the two other teams that have jumped out at me. One's the Oakland Raiders. Not just that they're 3-1, but all three of their wins have come on the road. And if you look at the Raiders' schedule, their next 4 games, they got the Chargers and Chiefs at home, followed by going to Jacksonville, going to Tampa Bay. I think they win at least 3 of those 4, if not all 4, considering how the Chiefs looked last night. And
hey, man, but Jacksonville ain't no cupcakes. They ain't no cupcake. Ain't going to go down easy, man.
But you're talking about actually being 7-1.
Yeah.
Up against Denver on Sunday Night Football a month from now. And them being a real threat to not at least make the playoffs, if not win that division. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. And then lastly, Richie, your Dallas Cowboys. I know they played Washington, Chicago, and San Francisco with the wins, but Dak Prescott's showing me something. And I got to ask you, man, with being a Cowboy fan, how are they going to handle this when Romo comes back? Are they going to go back to Tony, or are you going to keep rolling with this guy?
So I've given that a lot of thought, and I've hopped back and forth on each issue a couple times. So I went down to the opener. Obviously, they lost to the Giants, so it was at 20-19. And that game, I was really, really impressed by Dak Prescott, but he did miss some throws. He was a rookie quarterback making his first start, so we ended up losing. Easily could have won that game. Next game against Washington, I think he throws like 287 yards, had a rushing touchdown, gets a little bit better. Then against the Bears, obviously they were banged up a little bit, but kind of starts to really get the ball moving. And then the last game that they played against the Niners, went down 14 on the road, completed high 60-some percentage of his passes, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's managing the game, but he's doing a little bit more. But with that being said, if he can beat Green Bay and Cincinnati, 2 very formidable teams, I think it's tough. If he goes 1-1, I think that you have to go back to Romo just because his control of that offense, he's been in it his whole career. he is, when healthy, if he's healthy, he is, I mean, he's a top 10 quarterback. So I feel like you give Romo that benefit of the doubt that he is going to be able to, come in, not really miss a beat. He may be a little rusty, but I feel like you got to go with him unless Dak shines and beats Green Bay and Cincinnati.
Can I throw a double, real quickly? What was Drew Bledsoe? Where would you have ranked him among quarterbacks back in 2001?
That is fair. I'd put Romo 2001. I put Bledsoe maybe like right here, but Romo, I feel like he's always been better just because his ability to escape pressure.
But Richie, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. You're thinking of Romo like he has this escapability, bro. He's not that same dude anymore, bro. He's not that same guy, bro. He can't do that shit like he used to, bro. He has a bad back, bro. The man has a bad back, and he's getting old. It's not gonna get better.
I'm not saying he's gonna get better. I'm saying
no.
I mean, Jeff
he can't move like that. He's not as mobile. He's not that same Romo that we used to know, bro. He can throw in the pocket, but I'm not questioning that. But I'm saying when he has to get out of the pocket, what kind of Romo are you gonna see?
I was talking about Romo before he got injured and comparing him to 2001 Bledsoe.
I know, but Romo. But you're thinking about like when Romo comes back, Romo's not going to be that mobile old school.
Here's the thing. I wasn't referring to that. He asked me about 2001 Brady, and what I was saying is 2001 Brady was right here. Romo, before his injuries, I feel like he was better than him because of that elusiveness.
True.
With Romo this year, I'm not saying he's going to be mobile. I'm just saying his control of the offense, the ability to throw the ball down the field, which Dak Prescott still hasn't done. I think he has 2 or 3 passes over 20 yards completed. And just giving him the benefit of the doubt of being an elite quarterback. And at the end of the day, Dak Prescott's still a rookie. If, like I said, he has 2 games to really prove his worth. But I feel like you have to go with Romo. Unless Dak is shredding, I feel like you have to go Romo.
Man, I think you should stick with the young gun, truthfully, because you're building for the future. And if the young guy gets there, then you got Tony, because he'll be more rusted up and everything. Honestly, bro. Man. And the thing is, if they do win against Green Bay, because Green Bay is coming off a bye week, so they're rested. Man.
Well, they don't play Green Bay this week. They play Cincy.
Next week? Is it next week?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks? Okay. Man, but I'm just saying, bro. I think that they can beat Green Bay. I really do.
They can beat any team in the league. They can't. Just that defense, you just
And another thing for me, like my saddest thing is the Colts, bro. What the hell is happening in fucking Indianapolis right now? We are losing to the Jacksonville. I know it's neutral turf and whatever, neutral ground, whatever, in Britain at 9 o'clock in the goddamn morning, whatever the fuck it is over there. But god damn it, bro, to lose to the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars, man. You know how embarrassed I am? They used to be the laughing stock of the league. This motherfucker Blake Bortles went off, bro. Like,
he's good. And they have a good coach, man. Yeah,
we don't have a good. We should have kept Bruce Arians. Like, bro, I'm so mad at Pagano right now.
I can tell you the problem in Indy. They got a quarterback, but that's all they have.
That's all they have, man. They got
terrible management of that roster.
No, man. We need offensive line. We need defensive backs. Man, it's so fucking sad, bro.
Took a center in the first round of the NFL draft this past year.
Man, I woke up early. I woke up at 6 goddamn in the morning and on a fucking Sunday, okay, to grill out. I got prepared for this game. I was ready. And to see what – oh, my God, bro. I can't even talk about it.
I mean, it was a good game, but –
no, it wasn't good to the end when they almost came back.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, but we were out of the game the whole time.
On Sunday.
Man, what?
I said if it makes you feel any better, you're playing my Chicago Bears on Sunday, and Detroit. But I'm still not feeling confident about the rest of the season.
Man, no one's safe, bro. No victory is guaranteed for the Colts right now. And another thing,
Hoyer should start for you guys.
I did want to talk about one team in particular, or there's a few teams actually, and that was my biggest disappointment. But on the rise, I had to do a 360 turn on the fucking Rams. I don't know what the hell is happening with that right there, man. The Rams are 3-1 right now. I don't even know how, from the first game I seen to what they progressed to now, I don't know what the hell is happening.
It's a facade. They're not going to be that good at the end of the year.
I don't know what the hell's happening. That's all I'm saying.
the thing with the Rams is their D-line has always been good. And
Always good.
Teams.
But at the same time, bro, their offense scares me, and I can't trust it. But they're starting to click right now, so we'll see how it happens. They beat Seattle, they beat Arizona. It's not they're not picking against like little weak teams and beating them.
They somehow lost 28-0 to the 49ers. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Yes, bro, but are the 49ers that good, or
No,
are they just that bad?
No,
I didn't understand what was happening.
So you just mentioned the Rams have played 2 division games. I mean, that right there says it all. When you play within the division, throw everything up in the air, it doesn't matter. I cannot see the Rams make the playoffs. There's just
man.
Neither can I.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, man.
There's another team that I completely left off is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was another team I was going to say, yeah.
And it's one of those things like, okay, they beat Cleveland and Chicago the first 2 weeks of the season, but the way they absolutely curb stomped the Steelers, the same Steelers team that won.
I loved every second of it. Woo.
I mean, to me, I don't know how much of it really is Carson Wentz versus how much of it is just some of those other guys on the team just being able to actually play their potential now. Chip Kelly's no longer there.
Yeah, I think with Philly, I mean, they have such a good front seven. They switched back to 4-3 this year. But, I mean, Benny Logan is just a beast on that line, man. And, I mean, they don't have a talented secondary, but they're so aggressive with their front seven that, I mean, they're getting after it. Exactly. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know why they switched to 3-4, but, yeah. It's like old school Philly defense, and then on the offensive side, I mean, Wentz has looked legit. I mean, they have some talent on offense. They're not ultra deep, but yeah, man, I think it's Philly Dallas for a race for the East, and I
would agree with that.
Man, but at the same time, I knew Dak Prescott wasn't be good. Like people were like, "Oh, it's preseason, this and that." I was like, "Bro, no." Because you can tell how good a quarterback is. It's not that he was making good throws or nothing. It was the timing of the fact he was making quick throws and like they're quick decisions. Like when he stands tall in the pocket like Tom Brady, but man, this kid, he's something special, man.
Oh yeah, I said when they got drafted. I mean, anytime you draft a quarterback that is a 5th-year senior, you're setting yourself ahead of the curve a little bit. But I said when he got drafted that. It's not Facebook, not that that's official, but I was like, he's our Russ Wilson. Like, he's the Cowboys' Russ Wilson. It's almost been to a T, like almost. But let's transition into a little college talk. Like I said, quarter of the NFL season done, but college we're already through. Was it 5 games? So nearing the halfway mark almost.
Yeah.
Iowa just lost its 2nd out of 3rd game at home, nonetheless, to the I want to say arch rivals Northwestern because the last probably like 8 years. I mean, more than that, maybe 10 years. It's a legit.
Trevor Simeon, baby. Woo!
So yeah, it's. What was it, 38-31, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, 37. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, losing 2 of their last 3, North Dakota State and now Northwestern, really not looking that good against Rutgers either. Losing Matt Vandenberg for the year with injury. What are you seeing here, Brendan? What do you got?
I would tell you to hit the panic button because Richie, you go back to, I think I told you this the last time I was on with you and Jordan. The 2 concerns I had with this team coming into the season before they even played the first game against Miami of Ohio, the O-line, the D-line.
Yep.
Those are the 2 areas that I'm seeing the biggest issue right now if I had to pinpoint anything. And it's really simple with football. If you can't win in the trenches, it's all about being able to control the line of scrimmage. That's how Ferentz has always been coaching this team. If you can't control the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball, you don't have a chance. And it doesn't matter how good you are, how good your opponent is. Case in point, saw this past Saturday. That was not a good Northwestern team at all that came into Kinnick Stadium. And Iowa just flat out got embarrassed. There's no other way to put it. And And while I said that the offensive line is an issue, I think there's a greater issue as well with the sacks that you're seeing routinely, especially on the third down. Because a lot of it, I think, is the O-line not being able to pick up blocks, but some of it's also on Beathard.
Absolutely.
Too long and not being aware of when pressure's coming. And so a lot of it, too, is also the receivers not being able to get separation. So I feel like it's something that's all systemic, and it all goes hand in hand. And really, that's not good when you consider that you're already, as you said, you're almost halfway through the season now. I think it's to the point where this team is what it is, and I don't see much changing. They might win a few games here and there, but I got a feeling what you saw last Saturday is only going to continue further and further.
And the bad part about that is obviously, I mean, like it or not, sports are essentially measured on expectations. I mean, if you're coming off a 1-11 campaign and you go, 6-6, wow, you had a great year. You're coming off a Rose Bowl appearance and you're returning most of your impact players. It's crazy. So what Timmy, what did you see on that? What do you think?
Man, you want to know what I really think? And because I hate to count people's pockets, but Kirk Ferentz just got an extension too. So
deserved.
What are they really going to do for their future? Like, is this like, I don't know if this is like foreboding, like if this is what's going to continue to happen. But if he's making about $4 million a year right now, and so he's expected to make like $4.5 million a year through 2025, or whenever he decides to retire. Whoever knows when that is. So at the same time, I just find it sad that they're like the walking piece of mediocrity of Iowa, because it almost feels like a Cubs fan right now. It really is, because no matter what you do, your fans are going to support you no matter what. But if you're putting production on the field like this and you got 7 more years of misery, what's going to happen?
Let's easy on the hyperbole. It is far from misery.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, man. This is realistically speaking. It is what it is.
Richie, if I could just I think you may have saw this on Twitter the other day. I posted this because I did a little research after the game, and this really startled me, and I think it tells a lot of the story too. You think about 2002, that's the season they won the Big Ten, went to the Orange Bowl the first time around. From 2002 to 2011, so we're talking a span of 10 years where they had Ken O'Keefe and Norm Parker as coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa lost a total, in a 10-year span, a total of 12 games at home. Okay, so on average, that's about maybe 1 home loss a year, maybe 2, which for a program like Iowa, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now –
is it $4.5 million good?
Right. Well, now here comes –
ask the question. That's all I want to know. You get an extension?
Right. Okay, so now since 2012, when the coaching changes started to happen, you had Greg Davis come in as the offense coordinator, Phil Parker's the defense coordinator, and other assistants. You know how many home games Iowa's lost in that span?
I'm going to say 9.
13.
Oh, my God.
Close. That's a bad number. That's an evil number.
That includes going undefeated last year. So since in a span of a little over 4 years, they've lost more home games in the last 4+ seasons than they did in the previous 10 seasons combined.
Mm.
What is that?
I don't even know what to make of that. I mean, obviously I know that that's bad, but wow, 13 in 4 years.
Yeah, and then to boot, your remaining 3 home games: Wisconsin, they're ranked 11th; Michigan, they're ranked 4th; Nebraska, they're ranked 12th.
And it's just, man, so odd. 13 and 4.5 years. I mean,
oh, damn, man.
It's.
Do you see it getting better? I feel like it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
I'm not worried about it getting worse. I mean, you said it when you said the walking mediocrity, because that's what it is. We'll have one really good year and then we'll fall back down to earth. So I'm not worried. I think Kirk Ferentz has earned his money. I think that we could ask for a little bit more, but I'm not gonna ever lump this on Kirk Ferentz. I mean,
I feel you.
we lost some people, you know, on the O-line and D-line, but Beathard, I mean, like Brendan, you said it. I think he just has to sense pressure. Obviously, I mean, he's had, I don't know, a couple picks, fumbles, things like that with blindside pressure, but we need to play better. I mean, we need to play better. We're not the Iowa of old. We are doing things different. We are evolving with the times. But man, something has to be done. If you're losing 3 home games a year, you figure 13 over the last 4 years. Essentially, that's 3 per year. That's almost 50% of your home games right there. If you're losing half your home games per year, that's just, man, that blows my mind.
Well, here's, I think, the bigger concern now, or the biggest concern rather, going forward, is what exactly do you see this team playing for? Because no matter what happens the rest of the way, unless they somehow go on a run here and get back to the Big Ten title game, I don't see how you can consider the season as a success. And it's only the beginning of October.
Yeah, don't say that, bro. Damn, because you can't really go up from here. You can only go down. You know.
I mean, you can go up by beating, like you said, go on a run, but it's just realistically.
Who's the next big team they have? Like that they can actually put a stamp on. Wisconsin, damn. Good luck.
I mean, that's the thing though with Big Ten football. I mean, we beat Penn State at Penn State several times. We struggled against Ohio State. We beat Michigan. So I mean, it's possible.
They're in a better spot than Michigan State is right now.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
They're in a better spot. Michigan State has 2 losses, but both of them came in the Big Ten. They haven't even gotten to play Michigan and Ohio State yet in their own division.
I'll definitely take that all day. But, I mean, for the rest of the year, like you said, I think that, you know, it's going to be tough for it to be a successful season. We have some nice pieces, but we're just going to need to see a lot more, and I don't know that, I mean, obviously it's Iowa. We get better, you know, each week. That's always been our mantra. But I don't know. I mean, Anthony Nelson's nice at the end. Jermaine Smith, we have some talent, but it's just, you know, losing Vandenberg, just our basic struggles that you mentioned up front. And it's just what realistically is the ceiling. And I think that ceiling is much lower than a lot of us anticipated going into the year.
You know, there's another key loss too that I think may be getting overlooked. Is the 2 fullbacks. You had Adam Cox and Macon Puma the last few years. You don't have that luxury this year. And I wonder how much of a role that's had in terms of the amount of sacks this team's given up.
That's a good point. And, I mean, even on, you know, third downs, I mean, Ferentz has brought in fullbacks to help out in pass pros. So that's a good point.
Right.
Would you contribute a majority of those losses from Iowa home games? Would you contribute them from Iowa State?
I mean, true Iowa State.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But
there's also one in that stretch. They've lost to Purdue. They've lost to Central Michigan. They lost to Northern Illinois, although Northern Illinois was decent that year.
Yeah, they were.
2014. They've lost to Wisconsin a couple times in the stretch. And then you had this Northwestern game this past Saturday.
Yeah, there's another team that was really, really bad. They lost. I was like, God damn it. It was like the opening season. It's like a few years back.
That was in Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, man.
But, I mean, they were all right that year. They weren't, I mean, Northern Illinois had some
year before the Orange Bowl, but yeah.
What?
I said Northern Illinois, they were as good as they were the year before when Iowa beat them, and they still ended up going to the Orange Bowl.
That's true. Yep.
They won the neck, Jordan Lynch. But
is that their only loss?
Well, besides getting blasted by Florida State, yeah.
Yeah.
That was their only season losses to Iowa.
Okay. Well, so what, Timmy? What do you think? What do you think they're going to be for? So are they 3-2 right now? 5 games. So for the last 7, what are you predicting here?
Man, I pray that they win 3 more. I really do.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I got to agree with Timmy here. I think it's probably 6-6 at this point.
Yeah.
Let me should know this already, but let me pull up their schedule. So we have Minnesota, then we have Purdue. Yep, okay. So Minnesota, Purdue, Wisconsin, Penn State, Michigan, Illinois, Nebraska. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to say we win Nebraska. I'm going to say we win Illinois, lose to Michigan, beat Penn State. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna say 5. I'm gonna say we're gonna beat Minnesota, Purdue, Wisconsin, or excuse me, Minnesota, Purdue, Wisconsin.
I'm not going to win this Saturday.
Oh no!
Only game we're gonna lose the rest of the year is to Michigan. All right.
Okay, good luck, bro. We go. I wish you the best. I really do. I'm a State fan, so
So do I. It's well, enough of that. It's playoff baseball time, so we'll touch on that a little bit. So, season, I believe, just ended yesterday. Playoffs starting here tomorrow night, Tuesday evening. So obviously, my favorite team, the Chicago Cubs, best record in the league. Well, they went 103 and what would that be? 58. 103 and 58. Am I doing the math right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, they got the number 1 seed in all of baseball. I think the Rangers closed out number 1 there in the AL. So
unfortunately, the number 1 seed doesn't account for home field in the World Series because that
All-Star game. That's
All-Star
so
game, baby. Do you guys like that rule?
No.
I
love it. I wish the NBA did that to make it more competitive. I would love it, man. I'm sorry. Off this edition. I'm sorry.
I'd rather just have it because I mean the All-Star game, like you should.
A meaningless game. I understand.
It's an exhibition, though.
It's an exhibition, meaningless game. I understand.
But so what do we got Tuesday? Let me pull these up real quick. So Tuesday we got the wild cards. So Orioles, Blue Jays, and Giants and Mets. What are you guys' thoughts on those? Who do we see advancing there?
I'm going to say Toronto wins tomorrow night, and that sets up the well-anticipated rematch with them against Texas, and specifically Odor and Bautista. If you remember the little scuffle they got into in May.
Oh, yeah.
Odor basically clocked Jose Bautista in the face. I think that was payback for the bat flip from a year ago in the playoffs. And then
busted his nose, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And then in the NL, I mean, honestly, from the Cubs' perspective, it shouldn't matter who wins that game because, as far as I'm concerned, the Cubs have no excuse not to win it this year based off everything that you just mentioned.
The curse.
As far as the game is concerned, I'm probably going to pick San Francisco here, mainly because Madison Bumgarner has been there and done it before. Just look at 2 years ago. He won a wild card game in Pittsburgh. And then lo and behold, they went on a tear and won their 3rd World Series in 5 years. Probably gets the job done, and I would expect the Cubs to play the Giants. But, I mean, if it does end up being the Mets, payback for a year ago.
That's why I think it's the Mets, but I can't make any baseball predictions because as soon as I start predicting, it all goes to crap, man. Can't do it. October Magic. This is my favorite month. Because I get all three sports: football, baseball, basketball. Favorite sports all time, man.
Yep.
Right. And I'll say this: if I had to make a World Series prediction, I'll say the Cubs play the Red Sox, and
I love it.
Don't say it. Or man, in October is my birthday too. So sorry. Keep going, Rich. My bad.
I was just gonna say I look at. I know Texas had the best record in the AL, but the thing that jumped out at me is their run differential is +8, which that's pretty bad for a team that won 95 games.
Yeah.
And granted, they I think had a major league record 36 wins by 1 run this year. I don't expect something like that to continue in the postseason necessarily. Whereas a team like Boston, they went on a tear this past month to win the American League East, and they've just been hitting the ball pretty much all year long, just like the Cubs have in the National League. Mm-hmm. And I right now, I just feel like those are the 2 most complete teams in baseball. So I would expect that you're going to see the World Series start at Fenway Park 3 weeks from tomorrow night, and I'm going to say the Cubs end it. I'm going to say that they do it. because they have the experience. Lester's been there. He's won 2 rings. Lackey's won 2 rings. Actually, Lackey's pitched the closeout game in both of the World Series he won back in 2002 with the Yankees, most recently the Red Sox in 2013. Then you factor in Ross won it with Boston a few years ago. And then Zobrist just won a World Series last year. And then even Madden's won a World Series. I think he was either a bench coach or pitching coach for the Angels. Mm-hmm. So there's guys on this team that have experience that have been there and done it before, unless we forget about Theo Epstein. You know,
and that's what I was going to say.
Boston, that would be something.
That is the best storyline. I mean, I was talking about this last time. We talked a little bit of Cubs, but when you go from breaking the curse of the Bambino with Boston and then just coming on over to Chicago, and within 3 years, you are the best team in baseball with the Cubs. Like, it doesn't get any better from, like, a front office storyline that, hey, Theo Epstein, go ahead and he get 2 or 3. He get 3 rings in Boston or 2?
He got 2.
Two. And he was gone by, okay. So 2 rings there, and then I agree with you. I think the Cubs take it this year, and I do think it's against Boston. But
team. I mean, no, I'm serious. Like, they have the best 1-2-3 punch of any team in their rotation. They have arguably the 2 best players in the National League in Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo right now. Mm-hmm. Harper's he's a superstar, but he didn't have that great of a year this year. Trust me, I have him on my fantasy team.
I got one wish, and this is the only wish I have. I just wish that Jason Hayward pulls his head from his ass and has a great playoffs. That's the only wish I have.
I think he will. And you know what? They've been statistics have shown they've been the best defensive team in baseball.
He's a big reason.
They go out and they have the 7-8-9 for the bullpen. So really, what you're asking your starters to do is get through 6 innings with a lead. That you can set it up to win each and every night. And Madden, this team was in the NLCS last year. I feel like everything is in place. Everything that you could possibly ask for, aside from, I guess, the home field advantage of the World Series. But other than that, everything else, it seems like has aligned for this to be the year that they finally do it.
Man, we'll see. We shall see, my friend.
Here's the thing that I was kind of glancing over some of their stats is they were top run differential, correct, by a long margin?
Pretty big margin. Boston was second. Yeah, the Cubs were, I think, like 252.
So, obviously, the number 1 team in the league. We touched on the pitching that they have, but I was just glancing at some of the stats here, and I was a huge proponent of Jason Hayward coming over. I've been a huge fan of his. I still remember his first at-bat. He went yard off of Zambrano, and just the smoothness of his swing. Timmy, you mentioned it. Like, when is he just going to pick it up? Because he's batting 230 this year. 7 home runs.
I was about to give it a benefit of the doubt, say 240.
I mean, I like Hayward, but even looking at the rest of them, obviously we know what Rizzo and Brian are going to do. But besides that, I mean, they're not hitting the ball incredibly well. I mean, they're like mid to high. We got 216, 292, 272, 238. The 292 again, that's your Rizzo and Bryant right there. But how are they manufacturing all these runs with, you know, average hitting, but it translates to wins and really good numbers?
You know what it is?
Bases and everything.
But you know what it really is, though, when you bring that up, is you have guys, it's a different player every day that's doing something. One day it's Javi Baez hitting a walk-off home run against the Nationals. Another day it's Contreras hitting a home run the very first pitch he sees in the major leagues. Another day it's David Ross hitting one out against the Cardinals like he did last week. Then you know, Addison Russell making the play he made against Pittsburgh, or Travis Wood playing left field and making the play he made against the Mariners. I mean, it seems like just about everyone on the team has contributed to the Cubs' success this year in some way or another. And I think that that's something that bodes well for them as they go into the postseason.
Yeah, when you really break it down, that is the true epitome of a great team. It's not somebody that you're always leading on, you know, Chris Bryant to bail you out, or Rizzo to bail you out, or Fowler
and
to bail you out.
Don't forget management too. Don't forget management.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the other thing. If they get to the World Series and you go to an American League ballpark where you could have the designated hitter, you could just put Jorge Soler in that spot, and then you could put Baez both in a lineup.
Ugh. Man, we shall see.
It's crazy. I mean, you tell me 5 years ago that's even 3 years ago. Like we've been saying, like in Theo we trust, and it's insane to see just how it's progressed and the fact that they're clearly the best team, as you mentioned, with everybody chipping in.
They won their most regular season games in over 100 years.
Say that again.
They won their most regular season games in a season in over 100 years.
That is insane. What was it, 19? I saw you tweet that. Was it 1910?
They won 104 in 1910.
Good Lord.
2 years after last World Series win. It was their last. What was the other one that was their best since like 1946 or something? What?
When they got to 98 wins. That was the best since 45, and that was the last time they were in the World Series.
Okay. So, I mean, man, it's the one good thing that I like about baseball. Well, it's one thing that I like and also kind of dislike. There's so many games that there's no – whoever's the best, that's who's the best. It's not a fluke. It's not like, oh, well, they just got hot. Like, no, there's 162 games. They won 103 of them. They're clearly the best team, and now it's just go do it when it counts. So.
Right. Just to tell you how crazy the season's been, last year, the Cubs won 97 games, finished third in their division, had to play in that wild card game against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
The second best record this year was 95 and 67. Last year's Cubs team won more than the second best record in baseball this year.
That's some good perspective right there. Because, I mean, last year we looked at the Cubs as, well, at least I did, but I looked at them like, hey, they're this young up-and-coming team, and, like, you don't think of them being that good until the end of the year when they just went on their tear. But, man, they would have been the second-best team. That's crazy.
Right.
Reminds me of the Golden State Warriors in a way. Sorry.
I can see that. Just the fast ascent. They get new management, and everything just turns around. I can see that.
Boom.
Totally see
Dynamite.
That. Well, I think that's pretty much all we got for this one. But as always, guys, much appreciated coming on.
Yep.
Again, as always, if you guys want to come on, anybody watching with our 15, 16 subscribers, but if you guys want to come on, debate, talk sports with us, do whatever you want. Make sure to like, subscribe if you're watching this right now. So, anyways, sorry, go ahead. What's up?
And remember, me brotherhood is Sue brotherhood. Okay.
Little Espanol for you. There you go.
Right. Kenya.
There you go. All right. Well, until next time. Later, guys.